Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Jim Jefferies Show podcast. We are on hiatus. The show won't be back until late March. At the moment, I'm on tour in Europe. We're on a very small private jet. I know we sound like we're bragging, but it was the only way to get between these two cities. We normally fly commercial. We're not as fancy as this normally, but that's why we've had the opportunity now to do the podcast. I'm here with Forrest Shaw.
Yeah, hi, everybody. I don't know if you're supposed to say the exact date we're coming back, are you? I don't know. You didn't.
In March. It's going to be announced, right?
Yeah. This is actually coming out. This podcast will come out on Monday, the day that the announcement's happening. So.
Right, so we knew that.
All right.
We already knew that was happening.
Pretty smooth.
So, you know, we're over in Europe, not only are we doing shows, but we are doing field pieces everywhere we go. We just did a field piece in Amsterdam. We're about to do another one in London, one in Ireland, one in Israel.
We did two in Amsterdam, and we're not going to tell you exactly what we're talking about. We were allowed to tell you who we talked to.
We talked to some old prostitutes.
The oldest
prostitutes on earth, the Fokken sisters. The Fokken sisters are in their 70s, and they
That's their real name.
They still work as prostitutes. They've been prostitutes for over 50 years. One of them's name, the oldest prostitute in the world's real name, is Loose Fokken. And she does not see whether it's funny, nor does she get the joke, nor do I feel that anyone has said the joke to her before that. But she, I just started laughing, and then she was like, yes, Lucy Pussy. Lucy Pussy Fokken. So she was a fun lady, and she's with her sister. I felt like her sister was roped into the prostitution mostly by her.
It did seem that way because she was talking the whole time, and she'd shut her down and say something in Dutch. I don't even know what she was saying. But
yeah, that one of it. But they still wear the same outfits. They're identical twins who dress up the same every day, which have always sound weird when you meet identical twins. It's like, okay, and they weren't just wearing identical outfits like the same jumper. They were wearing what are the fascinators? Those things you have on the head when you go to the horse races.
Yeah, like a hat with some sort of
like with feathers coming out of it.
Cornucopia of fruits and flowers.
A fascinator. I think the fascinator is the thing that hangs over the face, isn't it? And then the little hat's a different thing. I don't know, but a little plumage on the top of the head there,
and an American flag scarf.
You both had American flag scarves, and
the thing is you're not American. They're like, we'll impress Jim.
They were like 5 years old at the end of the Second World War, and they still remember the Americans going in there and liberating them, and they're still very happy about that. But they don't do as many clients as they used to because the arthritis. But they reckon they've done 1 million men, and then we did the maths and we told them that's a lie, that's impossible, because that was like 80 a day or something, and we worked out that they actually have both fucked about 160,000 men.
Each.
Well,
that was really saying that they had fucked 10 guys a day for their whole life, even holidays, weekends.
They reckon they never had a day off.
Yeah, well, they had that day off. They're being interviewed.
Yeah, but they don't. They don't really do it anymore. They go, oh, we still have some clients who ring me up, and you know. But they seem to think they're giving a service, that they give human touch. I liked them enough, but you know, if you want to talk about sexual harassment, I took a photo with them, and they both grabbed my dick unwarrantedly.
We have photos.
I told them, please stop doing that, and they would not stop grabbing at my dick.
And in the photos, you look really uncomfortable.
I was super uncomfortable. It was two elderly women grabbing at my dick. It was unsolicited.
Yeah, and then we also, because the ride along was so successful in Birmingham that you did.
We did a ride along in Holland,
but we're not going to give away too much on that. But
it was a different result to the ride along in Birmingham. Let's just say the one in Birmingham was action packed. The one in Holland was different.
Yeah. So here's where we've been so far. Let's recap it. We started in Oslo, Norway. Then we went to Antwerp, Belgium. Then we went to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Then we went to Gothenburg, Sweden. Then Lund, Sweden, which is basically Copenhagen, Denmark.
Which is Copenhagen. Yeah. It's like a 30-minute drive from Copenhagen.
And then we went to Helsinki, Finland, where we just took off in this plane on our way to Trondheim, Norway. And then we go to Stockholm, we go to Israel, and then we go to where they really speak English,
Britain, not part of Europe anymore. Fuck off. We're British.
Because last night's show, you said last night's show in Helsinki was your favorite, but the thing that's funny about these countries is they understand English and they get the jokes, I guess, but they like to clap to let you know they're still paying attention.
They miss little nuances here and there, but then they clap at the end of a joke when they're like, we all understood that one.
Just so you know, we are on board.
Yeah. We have a fun time. Like,
we like the jokes and the punchlines.
I got to admit that me and Forrest may be the worst tourists in the world. Bigoted, you could call us. People have shown us a wonderful time, and we repay them by going bippity dippity, doopity doo.
Yeah. The what do you call it? That's what we were saying is like these people have been waiting a year to come see. 2 years you haven't been here since. Yeah, some of these cities you've never been to, and they spent a lot of money to come see you. And on the way to each of the gigs, you're like,
yeah, doopy doopy doo. I buy a thing, a boopy doopy doo. I come to your show. I'm probably doing Italian there, but then it's like I even said in Sweden, I said, does the Swedish chef on the Muppets occasionally like say a word? And they're like, no, he doesn't. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. I know that he's not really doing it. He's just doing gibberish.
Remember we were talking about that? Because we haven't, full disclosure, we haven't seen the movie. The Abu movie.
Yes.
But apparently the gist of it is that, and I can't remember his name I don't have internet here, so I can't look it up, from The Daily Show did that. And I guess the gist of it is that's not a good stereotype for Indians.
Indians don't like being stereotyped as hardworking people who own convenience stores. And you're like, look, on, let's be honest here. That stereotype didn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if they touch on other stereotypes of characters in the movie, but the Swedish people really did never pipe up about the Swedish chef on the Muppets.
No, they never got offended by the Swedish chef on the Muppets, which may be the most offensive interpretation of a nationality ever done. Get the chicken, doobie doobie doo. Well, I don't. But also in The Simpsons, do they touch on other things in The Simpsons that are stereotypes? Like, okay, so Willie the Scottish caretaker.
They must. I haven't seen the movie, so maybe we're just talking about our ass.
I don't know if any Scottish people are upset by that.
I know, but maybe we're just talking about our ass.
Or the little tiny German kid. You know, the one that there's just that kid who wears fucking lederhosen.
Ah, yeah. It's hot in here, isn't it?
Yeah. It is hot in this plane. I wonder if the plane goes down, that this will be salvaged. And someone will hear this.
This will be it. The last thing we heard was they were making fun of Abu.
Yeah, so
Swedes.
What else are we doing? We're going to do a field piece in Israel. That's a religious-based thing, obviously.
Couple ones in Israel. We're going to do one in. I think we're going to do some in London too. Yep.
I really feel like the TV show doesn't get enough credit sometimes. I feel like in reviews and stuff that we don't get credit for. We are the only TV show that does the international field pieces, and they take a shitload of fucking effort to do.
You do all of them.
I do all of them, and I got to travel the world doing that. And one time I watched
on private plane. It does sound we are complaining on a private plane.
This is the only private plane though.
There's lemon meringue, little cupcakes here.
Yeah, but I'm paying for this flight. I'm not. It's not like fucking Comedy Central are paying for it.
That's true.
And it's a little tiny private plane.
Yeah, we are cramped.
It's like if I was taller, I couldn't get onto the fucking thing.
I wonder how the sound is. Hopefully good.
What's that?
The sound for the podcast. I hope it's pretty good.
Oh, no, I just think it's interesting. It's also, we're doing a podcast where we haven't got anyone else to talk to, and we're not drinking. Normally we're drunk on the podcast. The podcast is normally recorded straight after the TV show, and I hit it pretty hard on a Tuesday afternoon.
We have some guests on the plane. Do you want to talk to them or no?
We can if you want. You can if you want.
It's up to you. It's your podcast.
We have my tour manager Shandy.
Here, hold on to this mic here, Shandy. You get no headphones. Hang on one second.
Shandy.
Let me bring you in. Whoops. I can't turn on the mic.
Oh god.
No, because once it starts recording. All right, hold on one second. I'm gonna stop recording and start. Hold on. And we're back. All right, that just peaked out. And we're back. Shandy, say something in the mic.
Hello, check. Hi.
Jesus Christ.
Ah, Shan. Now,
Deep
Shanny's a
voice.
Texan
Yeah.
who lives in Norway.
Yeah. He grew up in Texas.
He's married to a Norwegian.
What's
He
her?
used to-
Shandy
He
McKay.
used
is
to
her
be
name, right?
That's me.
a heavy metal guitarist.
Drummer.
No, he's a guitarist.
You're a
isn't he?
guitarist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the name of your band?
Absu.
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 Like Abu, but add an S. Offensive. All right.
And we're also here with Barang. Now, Barang is the promoter of the comedy tours that I do in Europe.
Yo, what's up?
That's the most I've ever heard Barang talk. That's Barang. I didn't know he could talk. If you want to picture Barang, he's basically Bill Pullman.
He's not at all, but that's what he said he is.
Yeah. I said, you're a hard guy to impersonate. And he said, yeah, just like Bill Pullman. Where does that fucking come from? Where would anyone think, oh yeah, who's a hard person to impersonate?
Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. And now I think about it, I've never seen a good Bill Pullman. Bill Paxman does a good Bill Pullman.
Oh yeah, I always think Bill Paxton is Bill Pullman.
Yeah, when Bill Paxman died,
It's Paxton.
it doesn't matter anymore, does
He's
it?
dead?
Yeah,
When did he die?
I didn't know
I
that.
don't think Bill Paxton died.
yeah,
You sure?
yeah.
Thinking the same guy?
We don't have internet up here. We can't confirm
Is
any
Bill
of this.
Pullman the one who's the president in Independence
Yeah,
Day?
he's Independence Day.
Then Bill Paxman's
Bill
dead.
Paxton was in Weird Science.
Yeah, Bill Paxman's dead.
Oh wait, Bill Pullman's in Weird Science.
No,
See?
Bill Paxman's in Weird Science.
Okay, Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxman's also in Twister.
It's Paxton. Yeah, he's a twister. He's
Yeah,
dead?
He's dead.
Oh man, this is a sad flight now.
Because I remember when he died, I said I'm going to miss Bill Pullman as
Oh yeah.
my tweet.
I
And
think I
then
remember
some
that tweet.
people actually pulled me up on it, like, "Hey, they're different people," and I was like, "That was the joke."
That was the joke. Yeah.
Is that a long time ago?
No, it was like 6 months ago.
Not too long ago. Now that I remember it,
Oh, yeah.
I went from not remembering to now I remember it.
I don't remember how he died. He felt like he was quite young to die.
He died an alien. He died in Independence Day, the second one.
Yeah, all right.
All right, forget it. That was,
He's not.
edit that joke out.
I liked it.
Yeah, so Bill Paxman's dead, so that's no good.
Paxman.
It doesn't matter.
Who else is dead?
Well, a lot of people are dead.
A
George
lot of
Washington.
people. A lot of people.
Jesus.
Do you know that there's more people living now than have ever been dead?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure.
There's
more
7 billion people is more than that have
Than have
ever
died.
died.
Yeah.
that have ever lived.
Yeah. But everybody keep fucking out there
Where'd you get
making
that?
kids.
It's like a well-known thing.
It's not where'd you get it. It's done.
Hey, oh, you're a scientist?
Yeah, I am.
Forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like when like Jesus was around, was the world population like 100,000 people? Like how many people was it back then?
I don't know. Yeah, the
Two.
whole Earth. Yeah, maybe like 50 grand, something like that.
The whole Earth?
I don't know.
I thought there would have been that many Aboriginals.
Maybe a million.
That
There's
many-
probably a million people back then when Jesus was around.
When you reckon Jesus was around?
Yeah,
No.
million's not that much compared to 7 billion.
No, I reckon when Jesus was around there was 200 million.
Yep. Well, again, can't fact check any of this. Do you have internet, Brang?
No. I went online earlier, so I'm just reading the comments offline.
What
Yeah.
are the comments? The comments about the
Brang
show?
only looks at his
No,
phone, by the
about
way.
James
so-
Franco's accusers.
Oh, so James Franco got done. He's
Good
gone
segue.
down. Yeah, there's James Franco. He got done. What's he been doing? You've sent a few texts?
He said that, so apparently he's been, a couple women said, they were filming a scene, I think, where he was performing oral sex on a woman in the scene,
Yeah.
and they wear these protective kind of plastic sheaths
Meant
over.
for like a dam.
And I think what they said is he removed them and just performed oral sex on them without the plastic thing, which wouldn't be pleasant. And then, or it could be,
Well,
but
it could
if
be
you don't,
if it's
if you don't want it,
consensual,
yeah.
it could be. But if you don't want it, no.
And then Ali Sheedy wrote some crazy tweets, kind of insinuating something, then deleted them, and so that's kind of, I'm not sure if that's still something or not. And then there was another woman that, or there was something else, another woman, something in some movie she was in. There's 5 different women. I don't have all the accusations, but apparently something came out right after the Golden Globes. He did an interview with Stephen Colbert, then Seth Meyers, and now there's been this flood of accusations against him. So far he's denied them, but we'll see where that ends up.
Do you ever remember, like, late night show people asking questions like this? Is this a new thing, or has this happened before?
I think that's pretty new because late night's always been, it's more of a comedic thing. I mean, the only time that things have ever, Johnny Carson.
I remember when Michael Richards did the whole saying the N-word, and he went on the show to apologise and on Letterman, and it was just sort of like he said sorry. And then there was when Letterman himself got done for having an affair and he was being blackmailed, and he just started his show with like, I've done some creepy things, and everyone laughed.
Yeah, after 9/11, everyone had their moment. They came on, and Jon Stewart had a thing that was that a lot of people watched, and people came on and said something, but I don't remember it being kind of like investigative journalism. Like usually it was more like, hey, so you got a movie coming out. I got your mic down a little bit, Shandy, because of the feedback. There you go.
Yeah, it was just to pub your movie, or
Yeah, but I even remember after Mel Gibson went through all of his stuff, no one on the late night shows actually said, or even after. So Hugh Grant gets a prostitute on Sunset, gets a blowjob, gets caught, gets a mugshot, and then that next week he's on Leno, and it was all like, yeah, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, because, let's be honest, that's in America, that's an illegal activity. That's, you know what I mean? There's a lot, like, it didn't feel like because the one that I felt weird about was when they decided to go after Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And, like his situation was, there was a picture of him groping a girl or something, but the girl even came out and said, no, they were friends.
There was a video of him with a reporter that was sitting on his lap, and he was like, it was like a kind of a grope situation. That one, I think, ended up being consensual, but then there was one other one that supposedly came out.
Right.
Not supposedly, that did come out. So,
and so
there was a bunch of stuff with Ben Affleck. So it was
now you have John Oliver going after Dustin Hoffman, and you know what I mean. So I just feel like John Oliver's a different thing, because John Oliver does a show like what we do, where you're meant to be critiquing the thing. You're meant to be sort of bringing down the man.
Yeah, but that's what those shows. That's how Seth Meyers became Seth Meyers, was making fun of Trump. So now maybe he feels his obligation to.
Yeah, so I guess it's just a change of what we were used to. It's always like Carson and that were always making fun of people rather than.
Yeah, but there is this thing too where there's that quote where it's all the politicians are now a joke and all the comedians are the only ones that speak to some version of that kind of quote.
Yeah.
Where because a lot of these shows, like your show or the Daily Show or the Last Week Tonight or Samantha Bee or any of these like Bill Maher, like they're all comedians that are running the shows, but that people like to get their news from there, or like at least something is said with some edge or with some not everyone's got an opinion, but just like it's things are being said by comedians that they expect other people to be saying, politicians, things like I'm fucking up the quote. Edit this out too. Terrible.
No, the thing is, it used to be that
how's it go?
Something, and comedians say things now.
Yeah, that's exactly what
politicians don't say things, and the comedians say different things.
Yep, you got it. That was it. That was way off on it, but that was it. So
we're a little.
If you're going to talk, point at me because I'm turning yours down, Shandy.
We're a little hungover. We should add that in because we just had a night out drinking in
Helsinki.
All right. Like this isn't our best podcast because I think the hangover.
Did we drink last night?
We did. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
That's probably you're too drunk. Oh golly!
You don't remember the first bar? I remember the first bar I went to.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the second bar was just back at the hotel, wasn't it?
No, we went to a second bar, and then the third bar was a hotel.
Ah, well, there you go. It's a three-barrer. Three-barrer. I'm still fighting off a bit of a cold as well, so I shouldn't have drunk. And then before that, I'm going to buy a watch today. That's something I want to do.
Oh, yeah. We're buying it today? I thought you were buying it in Stockholm.
I don't know.
You don't even know where we're going. Do you know where we're going?
I have no idea where we're going. Where are we going? I'm serious. Where are we going today?
Right now we're going to Trondheim, Norway, which is topical because...
Norway, because Donald Trump said...
Today, even though it's coming out on Monday, today Donald Trump said,
we need less people coming here from shithouse countries.
Shithole countries.
Shithole countries. And
I think he was like Haiti and some specific African countries.
And more people coming from Norway. Shithole countries.
And he said Norway just because the prime minister, is it the prime minister of Norway, was there visiting him. So just because his brain only works that way, where he's like, Norway. If the prime minister of Sweden was there, he just would have said Sweden. So that kind of puts the prime minister in a weird position.
It's such a weird thing because do you remember many years ago when George W. Bush was in power, and he was at a dinner with Tony Blair, and they left his microphone on, and they heard him say to Tony Blair, like, Syria needs to calm the fuck down, or something like that.
Yeah.
And this was just like recorded by accident,
By
and we
accident.
were all like, "Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god!" The president just said, "Fuck! I cannot believe this." And
Yeah.
now, knowing the people are watching him, he just goes shithole countries.
Yeah, it wasn't a press conference, but it was in a White House. It was in a cabinet meeting or something like that. I mean, it was among the press. It was.
There's people there.
Yeah. He said
It
shit.
was-
He's losing his mind. He's already lost his mind, pretty much.
Well, now they're trying to say that he might have dementia, but I don't know about that. I feel like it hasn't come on in the last week. I don't think he has dementia. I just think people are clutching at straws a little bit there. But they're saying if you watch his speech, it's a little bit more slurred. And then you're like, well, then I have dementia a couple of days a week. You know what I mean? Like, slurred speech doesn't mean it's all over, does it?
Okay.
I hope.
So, but here's the thing: is anyone that doesn't think Donald Trump is racist at this point is like, he literally said, all right, let's not get people from black countries, and let's get people from the whitest country on earth, other than Iceland.
Yeah,
probably.
he is racist. It's not up for debate anymore. He is
Yeah.
racist. But some people are like, name one thing that he's done racist.
He doesn't
Name
even
it.
say that, and then it's like, there's so many.
There's so many.
Yeah, but if you give this as an example, they would say that's not racist.
Yeah, he was talking about, like, when you say shithole countries, you're talking about, was he just talking about third world countries?
Yeah, I think he specifically mentioned Haiti, I believe, and I think some African countries. It's like, he's like, why are we having people come from these shithole countries? You know?
Yeah, but also, isn't that the whole thing, that America's the land of opportunity where people from impoverished places can come here and make a better life for themselves? This is one thing you realize when you move around. The people in Norway, they don't need to move to America.
Yeah.
That's why they're not coming to America. They don't need to. They've got healthcare. Their country fucking rocks, right? Everything's fine there. The standard of living's really high. They get to live in fucking, if they like skiing, they're
Shandy lives in Norway, right?
Yeah.
Even though Shandy looks like he's a racist, but
I mean,
he looked like.
that was kind of a racist comment.
Well,
on
how would you
a
describe
kind of
Shandy, Jim?
Non-racist, like.
How would I? Okay, Shandy has tattoos and he's a skinhead, but that doesn't
I
mean
think he's like bald.
that doesn't mean he's a racist. That doesn't mean he's a racist. He just lost his hair, and his tattoos aren't like
And he's from
swastikas or
Texas.
anything.
Well, not all of them, but these guys.
You make me sound good on this audio.
No one knows who you are,
I
Shandy,
know
on this
that's
podcast. It's okay.
important, Like, my mom might hear this.
I did say your last name, though. They can Google you. But
You have a mum? You didn't look like the type.
Nah,
I always thought you were grown out of a dish. There was some science
a
experiment.
dish
go.
with some white bread and sprinkle a little
why is
meth.
everything got to be about white bread?
What we did on the tour, we've been playing an app called Dune.
Let's promote Dune.
Yeah, Dune. Dune's
Hey,
just
This is what you do on the tour. Do you
They
guys
were
write
Dune.
and create new jokes?
No,
Like,
we've been playing Dune for the most part. What's happening with me right now is there's always a bit of panic that happens right before I record a special, where I've been doing all this material for about a year and a bit, and as soon as I record the special, I then have to start doing a new show, and I don't have any material written apart from the material that I'm about to record. So if you're going to see me mid next year, I'm nervous.
Mid next year, you got some U.S. dates coming up, but that's probably before your special comes out.
Yeah, so when the special comes out, I'll still have a little leeway before it comes out where I can do the jokes. But I'll have to start trying to write as many new jokes as possible. And there's a few jokes that I burnt already on the TV show, like the 2 years a slave routine.
The hunting.
My hunting routine I did on the TV show. Here's an exciting thing. Since we did our last podcast, we're nominated for a WGA award. That's
Writers
the
Guild Award.
Writers
First
Guild
season.
First
The
season.
Jim Jefferies Show, writing staff.
Other
was
shows
nominated.
that weren't nominated. Stephen Colbert was not nominated.
You know, all
James
of the
Corden
writers.
was not nominated.
All of the writers have been on this podcast. Jim Jefferies is obviously a writer. Scott Zabilski. Jason Reach is the head writer. We got, let's see, can you name them all? I can name them if you want
Laura
me.
Wilcox.
There you go. Wilcox.
Lucas Kavanagh.
All right, you're doing good so far. With the last name. I just didn't know if you get all the last names.
Suba.
Yeah, what's the last name?
Let's say Johnson.
It's a Garwal. Suba Garwal.
I know, I Garwal.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to
That's
pronounce
three.
it.
Three of...
Brian Olsen.
There you go. It's four.
Kevin
Yep.
Avery.
Yep. You're killing it. It's five. You've got two easy ones.
Matt Kirshen.
Yep.
Jason Whitehead.
Yeah. One last one.
Who have I missed out?
He's tall. You missed him. Tallest guy there. Oh boy, he's gonna be sad when he hears this.
Who have I missed out?
Curtis Cook.
Curtis Cook, of course, Curtis
Curtis.
Cook. Yes,
There you
Curtis
go.
Istel. I thought I'd already said Curtis Cook.
No, you didn't. So all of those people have been on the spot. All the writers of the Jim Jefferies show.
Curtis sits sort of close to me. We have a thing on the table where we all sit in the same order. But if the writer's listening, this is the first thing I'm doing when I get back into the office. We're mixing up the seats. So I'm going to
Why is
freshen up
that?
the room. I just want to keep them all on their toes. They're all too comfortable.
So you can mix up the seats.
Mix
there.
up the seats. No one's sitting next to the person they were sitting next to before. You
How
know,
is that going to help?
Because there's little cliques in the writer's room.
There you go.
You got to. It's like a teacher that separates
it's
the
not
friends.
that big a table where you can't, you know.
No,
I like it.
no.
I think you should remove one chair too.
We like everyone's going to come in, and I'm going to go, and everyone's going to come in individually, and I'm going to go. You get to select a chair. What's your chair? And then the next person comes in, and it's going to be
Big announcement here, the Jim Jefferies
It's going to
show.
be in order of which writers I like the most.
Oh, well, that's now you gave that away. So
Now I will be keeping my old chair.
yeah,
Actually, I'm going to move into the middle on the side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where in the middle on the side?
I'm going to take Suba's seat.
Oh boy, shocking announcement here.
So I'm sitting over from Jason.
But let's get back to this. This is a big deal to be nominated
Oh, yeah,
for the
the-
award, period. But to be nominated after the first season is incredible. That's not.
They tell me it's big. I will be doing what am I doing?
You're presenting an award.
I'm presenting an
You're
award.
gonna do a great job based on that.
I'm
right
going to
there.
present an award.
I did.
I'm going to present an award at the WGA Awards, and the thing is being hosted by Patton Oswalt, but I'm going to present an award.
What are you presenting for?
I don't know, but I'm assuming it'll be something like best script of a thing. You know, it's going to be something.
It's gonna be writing related.
Best drama, and the nominees are, and then the screen will go da 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 da, and I go, and the winner is, and then I'll say da da da.
La La Land.
Yeah, and then I'll say something wrong, and I'll try to do some jokes because you know this is the good thing about the Writers Guild Award. A lot of you have never heard of them because they're not televised, but in the industry they're a big
They're
deal.
filmed.
Yeah, they're filmed because they're about writing. You know, where the other one, which is the most important part of any script, but we give far too much credit to the idiots who are just reading the dialogue. And we act like they're the geniuses behind everything, and they're really not. The writers are the smart people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think that they don't even look at the video when they're getting nominated. They just look straight at the writing, the scripts. That's what we submit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's been like it's whether people like the show or what have you.
Sure.
We don't have a chance in hell of winning
Why not?
because we won't. We won't
Who
win.
do you think's gonna win?
I think
Here's the nominees.
I think John Oliver will win.
Jim Jefferies show's nominated. John Oliver, Sam B. Last week, the Full Frontal, Samantha B.
The Daily Show wasn't, right?
The Daily Show. I don't know. I don't think they were. I think Conan was nominated.
Conan, yeah.
Bill Maher.
Jimmy Fallon was.
Jimmy Fallon was not nominated.
He wasn't.
No. And I don't believe Colbert was either.
Colbert wasn't.
So Colbert wasn't. Seth Meyers might have been the other one.
Yeah, Seth Meyers was.
Yeah. So who do you think's going to win then?
I think it'll be John Oliver.
You think John Oliver? Maybe
Yeah.
Samantha Bee?
Yeah, it'll be one of those two.
But I feel like this is kind of like, look, you got to get in there first. It's like one of those things like where you don't win it the first year. Like the last year The Daily Show won it when Jon Stewart was on his way out. Not that, you know, The Daily Show wasn't good, and they obviously are deserving of it, but it felt like John Oliver probably should have won it that year, but it was their first kind of year, and it was The Daily Show's last year, so it's kind of like, you know, I don't know how it works.
If
I think if you win it your first year, it's probably
honestly, I won't even prepare a speech. I'm that confident we won't win.
Ah, man, that'd be awesome. Then if you win, you just go up there and stumble around. You'll be like, I'm just going to start drinking because we're not going to win.
Yeah. I'll be belligerent at that awards.
Shut in your face last week tonight.
Yeah.
Boo! All right, you're pitching here.
And then also like it may, I don't know, it might be a fun night.
It'll be fun.
It might be a fun night, but the thing is,
get to dress up.
we're going to get dressed up. But it's only writers. This won't be a good-looking room of people. It's not like you're going to go there and go, oh yeah, there were some nice-looking broads in there.
There's no red carpet.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Well, the men aren't going to be too good
I was
looking
about
either.
to say something terrible there.
Yeah.
I won't say it. But no, it's not going to be a good-looking bunch.
It's the behind-the-scenes crew.
Yes, I'll be rohypnoling my own drink.
Just so you can jerk off later?
Yeah. That joke might get me in trouble just for... that was a joke. We're still allowed to joke, people.
Lawyers listen to this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Supposedly. I don't know. We haven't allowed to mention them. It's all a mystery. It's still hot in here.
Yeah, you can't make it not hot. You want to know why? You want to know why it's hot in the private jet?
Why?
Because we're a little bit closer to the sun.
Oh, should we?
That's how it works.
No, but we're like that in all jets.
No, of course that's not why it is. It's colder up here. If you were shot out here, it's freezing. It's like, do you think that's what really happens? Like when you get into outer space, geez, it's hot out here. I'm so close to the sun.
Are the pilots allowed to say hello?
He's a scientist.
I don't know if that microphone will reach.
Let's leave the pilots just to fucking fly the fucking plane, shall we?
They have accents. Huh?
If we were on here for another half hour or more, I'd do a shit, you know.
You can't do one.
You can.
Well, when you asked where the bathroom was, he goes, it's very small.
Yeah, they don't advise. This is a 4-seater plane.
Yeah.
So this is very small. This is sort of the size that Buddy Holly died in.
Barang's really into the podcast. He's reading a book now, 10 feet from us.
Barang's reading a book about John Cleese because he's doing John Cleese's tour after mine. And all Barang said to make me feel like an asshole when I got on my private jet, he goes, we need a bigger one for John Cleese because he is taller than you. What a fucking hurtful thing to say. Well, I'm in this small little pissy jet because I'm not John Cleese. Because who sells more tickets, me or John Cleese? John Cleese? Yeah, that's fair enough. I'd rather see him too. I'm not offended by that.
Monty Python, come on.
He is in Monty Python. What does he do in his show? Does he do any of the old sketches? Talk in the microphone. Does he do it?
Yeah, I mean, no sketches, but stories about the recordings of Python and Fawlty Towers. Stories from his life.
The recording of Fawlty Towers. I just watched Fawlty Towers again, and I tried to show it to a person in my life who had never seen it, and they didn't like it. And I'm like, this is brilliant. What are you talking about? It's brilliant. The thing is about it, it's only like 12 episodes. Like, everyone always says my sitcom Legit was like cancelled too early. We did twice as many episodes of Fawlty Towers.
Yeah.
So obviously it was twice.
I never knew
good.
that. There's only 12 episodes of Fawlty Towers.
12 episodes of Fawlty Towers, yeah.
So how did that become such a big thing?
It's just they kept on repeating them over and over. People love them.
So fucking good.
It's so good they just keep watching. It's on Netflix at the moment.
I gotta rewatch it then.
It's when you watch it, it's really just the premise of the show is a guy who's just fucking pissed off, which is sort of like what if you ever go to a bed and breakfast in England, they're really like that. They're always owned by people who don't like people. It's like, why'd you fucking open a bed and breakfast?
Yeah.
And they're always like, breakfast is between 8 and 8:15. Like, they just don't want you to show up for breakfast.
Yeah.
Checkout's at 10. Please be out of the room. Yeah. One time, when this is back in the day of Discmans, like I'm talking like I had a Discman, and this is about 14 years ago. I was a stand-up comedian in England, and I had to get a room, and I was just listening to tunes on my Discman, and I was masturbating. And I had my earphones on in a bed and breakfast, and the maid just walked in, and I was in full stroke. Full stroke, but I couldn't. She would have knocked on the door, but I was listening to my earphones.
What song did you masturbate to?
I was listening to like John Lennon. John Lennon's like greatest hits was like whatever gets you through the night or something like that, right? But the big thing I remember about it was knock, 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 and then she sort of screamed and she ran out, and it sounds like it's out of a sitcom. She goes, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." She goes, "I was just trying to drop off some towels," and I go, "I'll need one in a minute."
Brilliant.
That's what I said. I don't know if that's a crime that I did there, but it was accidental.
You were in your own room.
I know I like the British because I have a
Offer a movie role.
I have a gay friend who's a stand-up comedian who told me a story about like this. You got to give it to the gays sometimes. They're very good at picking up when they're just in different towns. They organise sex often.
Oh yeah.
They organise the sex before they get there. There's someone coming over doing something, you know. So anyway, my mate said to me, and he's not a super good looking fella. He's a podgy sort of fella, and he said to me he had this guy lined up that he'd been chatting to online. The guy came over. And he goes, I was in this little hotel in like Yorkshire, Leeds, right north of England, and he goes, I had the guy on the floor and I was squatted over his head, and my dick was going in and out of this guy's mouth while my asshole was facing his eyeballs and my balls were on his chin. And the maid walked in to see this happening, and she just said, I'll just turn that sign to do not disturb then, shall I?
Very polite, the British.
Very polite.
Very considerate.
I'll just turn that sign to do not disturb.
We can. I think that's good.
No, I'm having, what else are we
Are you
gonna
having
do?
fun?
We're going to talk to people afterwards. If you want to stop listening to the podcast, stop listening to the podcast. No one's making you listen. But if you're on a car journey and you're feeling alone, or if
we're gonna do a couple more while we're over here. Not in the plane, but we're gonna.
I'll only do them in planes.
Well, no, that's not gonna happen. But no, but I mean, you know what's gonna happen is there's always, even though we said, hey, we're on a plane, the sound might be off. I'm trying to adjust the levels as best as I can. You're gonna get comments on there. There's a lot of distortion in the background. The plane. It's like everyone's been begging to get a podcast. I've seen all this stuff, and we're doing it.
We told a wonderful story about Yorkshire. Have you ever been caught masturbating?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, by my mom.
I've been caught by my mother, and I've been caught by one of my brothers.
I don't know if I was caught.
And a maid in Cornwall. So that's 3.
I was caught by my. Well, you know what? I used to do a joke about how like I would. Did you masturbate in the shower?
No, I don't like masturbating in the shower.
That's where I did it a lot. And I used to take these really long showers, and like, my mom knew what was going on. To be in there for like. At first I...
To this day, if I'm having a shower, my mother will come in and talk to me. Won't have any
like in
issue.
the bathroom?
Yeah, she'll come into the bathroom and go, how have you been? You can see through the thing, I'm trying to have a shower and going, man. And then she does that whole, I've seen it all before. And you're like, I used to wipe your bum when you were a baby. And it's like, yeah, but I didn't have dangly balls back then.
Yeah, I didn't have giant pubic hairs.
I didn't have a big afro fucking dick and saggy balls. You haven't seen all of them.
I didn't
before.
Maybe have herpes.
My asshole didn't fucking have a hemorrhoid dangling out the back of it.
I wasn't trying to jerk off when I was a baby in front of you.
Yeah.
Maybe, but probably not. Yeah, I used to, and I know in your joke you said that you would hide your porn out like in the bush.
In the woods, yeah.
I hid mine in the worst. I just, underneath the sink, there's like a cupboard, and there's like toilet paper and some cleaning products. I just hid mine under the basket of the cleaning products. Like, no one will see that there. It was clearly, everyone would see it. It was like, like when paper, like when there's a lot of humidity in an area, like the magazines start to get warped. And so I had all these 3 porn magazines that I would like save. I like hid them under the basket of cleaning products. Like, good to go right there. No one will see this. So my mom clearly knew I was masturbating in the bathroom, and I would set it up on the sink, which was right next to the shower, and hang out of the shower. It was a dangerous system. But
my brother was
you could wash right off after then. That was the thing.
My brother was just visiting my parents in Australia, and every time he goes to visit my parents in Australia, every time they visit, we always FaceTime each other, me and my brother, so we can take the piss out of mum or upset somebody. And then Scott was like, I'm going to take you on a trip down memory lane. And then he walked through and he went to Dad's old stash of porn in the garage.
Yeah.
And it's like Dad still has the same 3 magazines from the 70s.
They're just like, and they're stashed in the same place?
Yeah,
like,
stashed in the same place. They've been there. These magazines have been there since I was a child in the 80s. Like, and he had them from the 70s.
Probably worth some money.
Yeah, there are a few old Playboys. And so Scott went and showed me those. He went, there's some porn in the garage.
What did your dad do with them in the garage? That's where he went to masturbate down in the garage?
Yeah, that's where he still masturbates in the garage. And that's, I imagine.
Huh.
And then we did a game that we do every Christmas, which is what do? We rank.
Masturbate around the Christmas
tree.
No,
we rank all the people in Mum's life who she likes the most.
Oh yeah.
That may be one of the funnest games you can ever do with an old lady because it's very upsetting to them because there's grandkids to rank. and you start going, you like this grandchild more than the others. Now, my son's the favourite because he's the youngest, and the other ones are little bitches and bastards because they don't call anymore because they're teenagers, and teenagers don't want to speak to their grandmother all the time, so they're assholes. And Hank's lovely because he's 5. But then all the sister-in-laws, they all get ranked in level of what type of bitch they are, right? Because she doesn't like anyone, right? I'm not even high up. I'm rocking in at number 10. I have a theory that my mother used to be an alcoholic, but she won't own up to it.
Your mom used to drink.
She used to drink, and now she only drinks water. And she doesn't even like at like one of her son's weddings, she would never even toast with champagne. So I think someone used to be a drinker because it runs in the family, but I don't think she'll never own up to it. That's all I know. She'll never admit it.
Do you think I'm an alcoholic?
I think statistically we're alcoholics.
Me?
Do you think I am?
Sure.
And you are.
What do you mean? You think I drink as much as you?
You're better than me.
I didn't say I was better than you, but I mean, what do you mean statistically?
How am I an alcoholic if you're not?
Well, I think you drink more than me.
Every time we drink together.
I know, but you drink more than me.
Like I bash back. I when I go for it, I go for it.
You know what? You know why I'm saying that? I'm basing it on this trip, and that I'm skewing that because we've drank on this trip, and what Jim is doing is he's eating a large meal in the beginning. And then you're not eating at night, so the alcohol is hitting you harder than me because you seem. I'm like, how's Jim already like drunk? And I'm like, and I think it's hitting you harder. That's what's happening.
That's quite possible.
Yeah,
I'm getting drunk easier these days.
Yeah. It's also you get older.
I've been well behaved. What have I done wrong?
No, you've been fine. There's nothing been any bad behavior. It's just about getting drunk and stuff. Except I'll tell you what. The one night when we were in Amsterdam and we went out to eat with everyone from the show. You were the only one not drinking.
Yeah, I've had nights off where you haven't.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm an alcoholic.
You've drunk more nights than me.
But I don't look at myself as an alcoholic like the way I look at myself as a gambler, like compulsive gambler, you know? Where it's affecting my life in a certain way that's...
I won't be drinking tonight.
No? Not in Norway?
I'm having a night off.
Okay. Whitest country on earth?
Yeah, I just...
Are you going to be off until next week? For the
pretty
special?
much. I think I got one more night I'll drink in the next 7. Yeah, probably Tel Aviv.
Yeah, that's a good place.
I'll probably have to drink in Tel Aviv and, you know...
Do you think there's going to be a day where you ever stop drinking?
Yeah. Yeah, I stopped once for 9 months. I think there will be...
Not forever, though, I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
I do, too. I think my day's soon.
Yeah, I think...
I don't enjoy it as much as I used to do.
You can't do it in your old age forever.
I don't enjoy it as much as there's nights where I'm like, that was a fun night, you know? But I think it would have been fun without alcohol, so even though it doesn't seem possible, but I think it is. I think I'm almost done with it.
Yeah.
Our pilots are drunk probably right now. Right?
Yeah, I don't know about being done with. I would like. The problem with me, I've always said this. I don't think I'm an alcoholic. I'm a drunk. There's two different things. I like to be drunk. I'm never going to be a person who has two.
Yeah, you wake up and you have to have a drink. I've never had that.
Never woken up and had to have a drink. I don't day drink.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I don't day drink unless I'm on holiday. If I'm on holiday, I day drink. Like
I wouldn't start
if I'm in Hawaii or something, I'll start at lunch having a drink. And I actually like a day drink because what happens there is then you go to bed at 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then I wake up at like 3 in the morning or something.
Yeah, but then you're up doing shit. You're swimming.
3 in the morning. How are those sandwiches?
The sandwiches are all right. I've already eaten all my food for the day, though. Fuck me.
Did you get a picture of us, Randy?
Yeah, taking a few.
Oh, of us podcasting on a plane? Get out there, podcast on a plane. Don't get dick. All right, well, we've been doing this for a while. We've done about an hour. We've done about an hour.
We've decided that we can do certain impersonations.
I can't do any impersonations. You doing? Okay. You want to do that?
Give me an impersonation. I'll give it a go.
Okay. Well, I'll give you one I know you can do. Do Al Pacino.
Oh! There we go. That was Al Pacino. Next one.
Homer Simpson.
Ooh.
Is this how they're all going to be? One.
We did Homer Simpson. This is Homer Simpson doing Al Pacino. You ready?
I'm ready.
Ooh, hoo-ha.
I almost spit out my Coke. That's
Ooh,
Can you? Okay, let's only do Homer Simpson doing other people, all right?
ooh, yeah. Ooh, hey, Fredo, you let me down.
I know, Homer Simpson doing Christopher Walken.
Oh, Christopher Walken. I am Christopher Walken. That's actually Homer Simpson doing Norm
terrible.
Macdonald. More cowbell. I have a remedy.
It's not Christopher Walken at all. He goes to me, hey.
He goes, the only remedy is more cowbell.
This is not Homer
Is
Simpson.
to
it's
play.
Christopher-
No, he just does a good impersonation. Homer Simpson really nails it.
Yeah. He's nailing it. He doesn't even sound like Homer Simpson anymore.
Oh, we're on private plane.
Yeah.
We're flying to Norway. We're going to get there really soon. That's actually not bad. I don't
That's pretty good.
do a walking.
All right, do a Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Or Bill Pullman.
No, Bill Paxton is. Well, this is our Independence Day.
Today is our Independence Day. All right, how about a woman? Let's do
Oh, who can impersonate women?
yeah, good point.
I can't. There's women can impersonate men. It's very hard to go the other way. I know a guy that can do like a pretty good Sharon Osbourne.
Oh yeah, who's that?
I don't know. Just guys.
Oh, Sharon Osbourne. I meant who's Sharon Osbourne?
Ozzy Osbourne's
Singer.
wife.
I got it. All right, we're going through some turbulence now. This is it.
Yeah. This is how it all ends.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So bye, Miss. We can't sing, can we?
Miss. No, don't sing it.
All
You
right.
probably already sung too much right there.
No, we can't because the music. We have to pay for the music. And I say thank you for the.
Well, we're going down.
Now, this is what I've learned about this trip overseas.
Yeah.
English, very good language.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
Everyone
good.
speaks it.
Everyone speaks it. Everyone comes along to the show. You can be the best fucking Norwegian
You
comic
know,
in the
people
world.
don't
You
speak a
can't.
lot of Danish.
Even the Danes don't even speak it.
Is that a language?
Language?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danish?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think, let's be honest, Swedish, Norwegian, and Danish, it's all the same fucking language. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
and let me tell you this.
Pretty much the same
Norway
shit.
and Sweden, they talk about each other the same way the U.S. and Canada does, or Australia and New Zealand. Like, they act like they're vastly different people,
No.
and they're the same people.
Yeah.
And they're just like, these Swedes, let me tell you, they're pieces of shit. And it's like, they even so much as both their monies are the kroners, but one is the Swedish kroner and one's the Norwegian kroner. It's like, just have a kroner. Well, I mean, why do you have different kroners?
Also, when they're speaking in their language, occasionally they just put words in English in the normal sentences when you're watching the TV.
U-turn.
Yeah, but then like
Remember
the words are, surely you have a word for this. It's like, it's potato Donald Trump, a digital a successful trip. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
You didn't have fucking successful trip? You don't have words for that?
I didn't even hear that one. U-turn is one I always catch. But but why? Okay, you guys. All right, you're not Norwegian, but you're married to a Norwegian, Shandy. And Berang,
And
are
you're
where-
always speaking to your wife in English.
Berang, were you born in Sweden?
Do you never meet your wife half?
We can't hear Berang.
No, I was born in Iran.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah. So, but you live in Sweden.
Yeah.
So none of you guys are actually from there. But why do Sweden and Norway people hate each other so much?
They don't hate each other.
They talk shit about each other.
I thought Barang was like a Swedish name.
No.
That's
no,
an Iranian.
look at
Barang
You
is a
didn't-
Persian name.
I'm not trying to be.
Oh.
I'm not. You know, you can't see him on the podcast, but if you can see Berang, it clearly is not Swedish.
He's not Swedish, but I
Yeah.
thought maybe
He's
Warning.
Yeah.
you might have
Iranian,
one Swedish.
Persian.
Yeah.
There you go.
But Finland hates Sweden, and I mean Denmark hates Sweden.
They also.
I had a lemon meringue pie.
And then what about where's the other place with the kroners? Denmark, right?
Denmark and Iceland as well.
They all have kroners. It's like just one kroner. No, not a kroner.
Why did you start promoting comedy, Barang? How did this happen for you?
That's a long story. You don't want to talk about it now.
Oh.
That's
Okay, well, we're only doing a podcast.
Yeah,
but
well-
can you shorten it up?
What we
yeah.
needed was a story, an interesting story. That's what we asked.
You don't want to hear a story, do you?
Yeah, the
No.
long story is I was interested in comedy, so I pursued this as a career. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll shorten it down. I only wanted to see, this was 12 years ago, I wanted to see Pablo Francisco live.
Yeah.
And I called his agent, not knowing English very well, and they were super accommodating because he wasn't.
And you lived in
huge.
Sweden at this point?
I lived in Sweden, yeah.
Okay.
And he wasn't huge in the States, but he was a rock star over here, and they didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, he was very big here. Yeah.
So I put a show on sale, and it sold out in 5 minutes. We added another show, and it ended up being 6 sold-out shows, about 7,500 tickets, and suddenly there was a business.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the short.
Yeah, I know he was really big up here because didn't Flip Schultz used to come with him?
Flip came with him.
Yeah, because
and-
Flip's from Miami, where I'm from. I know Flip. When I started comedy, Flip
Yeah.
was already, yeah.
Do you
so-
ever bring out acts that you know will sell tickets that you don't particularly like their shows? Don't say me, because that will be hurtful.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I can't tell you who.
And who
what
are
about
they?
Jim? You like Jim, though, right?
Yeah, I love Jim.
Who's your favorite comedian?
My favorite comedian.
We know who it is. Say who it is.
Come on.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr! Now,
Jim's right up there. I'm
we were
telling
in
you,
Antwerp.
Jim's right up
we
there
have,
with
we have to stipulate that I like Bill Burr. Me and Bill,
Oh, yeah. You love Bill Burr.
Me and Bill was on the show. We have a healthy respect for each other, and I'm a big Bill Burr fan.
Yeah.
But we have been busting Bahrain's ass about Bill Burr because what happened is
We were in Antwerp.
The first night we were in Antwerp, he goes, "Hey, I know a bar that we could go to. You're going to love this bar so much. Bill Burr went there," and I'm like, "Ooh!" And then we get to the bar. The bar was very clearly empty, and they looked me up and down and went, "We're full."
Yeah, we were standing in the bar, so it's almost impossible. If you're standing inside the bar, a bar's not full. Like
There was
it's
no
not-
security.
Yeah.
It was a bartender. Like, no.
And everybody was kind of looking at us too, like up and down, like that. But there was like clearly room. There was people sitting at the table, so we could have stand there. And the guy just comes up and says, "We're full." He didn't even say, "Do you want to sit down?" He goes, "We're full."
So I was in a bad mood, and then Bahrain was like, "Oh, they let Bill in there right away," and I'm amazed there isn't a statue that Bill Burr went there. Way to make me feel loved.
So we went to the other bars. That last bar we went to was great though.
That was a great bar.
It's a jazz bar. What was that called?
Yeah, I really like that.
the jazz bar.
The Jazz Bar.
Was it?
The Muse. But
And-
also said
and-
the Jazz Bar.
And Forrest had a very attractive girl hitting on him, and he didn't notice.
I don't know about that. First of all, I don't know if she was hitting on me. We were having a conversation.
She was very pretty.
Yeah.
You didn't notice.
I know she was pretty. I know she was pretty, and I know I was talking to her. I don't think she was hitting him. I think we were having a friendly conversation.
She was hitting on you.
She was hitting on you.
Okay. Well,
She was hitting on you.
well,
Didn't happen for you.
live and learn. You know, I'm back in the game. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah, back in the game, back in the dating world.
But that was a really fun bar, man. I really liked that place. That was cool. So, all right. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna wrap up this podcast.
No.
What do you mean no?
What am I going to do otherwise? Just talk to you normally?
Well, we're gonna land at some point.
Well, that'll be good.
Yeah, I gotta like take this from here and download there and put it on this other thing.
Has anything interesting happened on this podcast? Has this been?
Yeah, I think it's been fun.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
A bit of turbulence there.
Okay,
Bit
we're
of
going down.
Like, I don't know why we bother with a seatbelt on this plane.
Well,
Pointless. If this thing
no.
crashes, it's all over.
Yeah.
There's no.
I think it's for turbulence.
Even.
Oh yeah, your head would just hit the. Your head's like 5 inches from the roof. Is that Brang? Are you not a good flyer?
How do you know?
Why, you gotta hand the mic.
Hand the microphone, Shani.
You're not a good flyer.
Yeah, I prefer not
I
to.
noticed when we were taking off, you didn't seem very comfortable.
Yeah, it's just a small plane, and it's a Cessna, and every
What
time
does
there's
a
an
Cessna have
accident,
to
it's
do?
always...
Real smart of you to get into this touring business. You're not.
Well,
you're not into flying.
Yeah, but it's a jet plane.
Yeah, but every time you hear a story, there's always a Cessna crash somewhere.
Hey, who was your biggest nightmare of a tour? What was your one where you're like, fuck, like it was just a nightmare?
I can't tell you that.
You can because you're not going to tour with that person again. So what difference does it make?
I will tour with that person again.
Why?
He's a businessman.
I can't. I'll
You
get
can
in
tell
trouble.
me off the podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
No problem.
All right. No, we're gonna wrap it up, Jim. We're gonna do some other ones. We've done enough time.
On the next podcast.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another podcast probably in Tel Aviv, and then probably one in London. Maybe we'll have some comics on, like maybe someone in London will get on there, something like that.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I because I'm going to Tel Aviv, I've been getting a little bit of flack from people that I'm being anti-Palestine or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I understand what
You think it's safe for us to go there?
I'd say,
Going.
yeah. They give us a bodyguard.
All right.
You get like a guy with a gun.
Does it make you feel safe?
It makes me feel safer, especially if you're in a bar.
No, but remember the other night in Belgium, there was Belgian army
Yeah.
with assault rifle, military.
Yeah, in case there was a terrorist attack on
Yeah,
the
but they
show.
were all around the outside of the arena you were playing in.
Yeah, because we did quite a big arena there, and so on the surrounding was all the military.
And you said that made you feel nervous?
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah, I guess, yeah. It made me feel like, oh, fucking maybe.
And you said some other artists, too, felt the same way. Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe that there'd been a threat.
That's what it paints for people. They see it and they go, oh, shit, something was said, and it's not the case. They just, anywhere there's a function of so many thousand people, they have to be there because of what's happened in Brussels and
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were fully loaded, those guys.
Oh, yeah, those guys were
They had like
fucking
assault
around.
rifles, they had pistols in their hip, they had...
I think that's where America will head as well.
You think?
I think so.
For the terrorism?
Yeah, I think so. I think like I've had threats against me after the gun control thing, and I had to employ my own police officers to do my security. Even after I rang the police and said there's a threat, someone said they're going to shoot the place up, blah blah blah, and they went, oh, we'll just metal detector everyone, we'll pat everyone down, and then I go, okay, well, can we have some police there? And they go, if you want to buy them, and so I had to pay for like 8 cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, you'd think that would be in their interest to have people there.
You know what
but
the argument always people are going to, when they hear this or they
taxpayers' money shouldn't have to pay for...
No, they'll say, oh, you're anti-gun, but you want a guy to protect you with guns.
Why are we always redneck when you're why is, you know what I mean?
It's easier that way. It's my best impression.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Rednecks are the funnest people to take the piss out of.
Yeah.
Hey there, I'm from Texas.
I'm from Texas.
Keep it
My Texas
Wild
accent.
Crazy.
I hate my sex
Those
with
other
my
rednecks. We're
sister.
gonna use like Mississippi.
Nah,
or,
Texas
you know,
isn't really the sex with sister state. That's more the Alabama.
use Oklahoma.
Alabama having sex with my sister.
Louisiana.
Texas has Austin.
Austin. That's where you're gonna hang your hat on.
Well,
I love Austin, but
hang your
it's
hat.
a big
It was
state.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I hate.
You
That's what I
can
hate
put your
about
spurs up
Texans.
there.
Texans bragging about Austin all the time. Austin's really
It's our get
liberal.
out of jail. free
Austin is
card.
great.
We
I
have
love
to use
Austin.
it. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, but you still have like Beaumont.
okay.
What's the greatest city on earth? Greatest city on earth.
I mean, that's
Copenhagen.
in my opinion. I like New York.
I don't like New York.
You don't?
No. I couldn't live there.
Yeah, I dig New York. I mean,
I like going there to do gigs. I love doing that for a couple of days, but I couldn't live there.
I don't know. It depends on what you're into.
Helsinki.
Oslo, because I live there.
Nah, it's
Best city in the world is London. It's your number one.
London's
number
pretty
one
cool.
with a bullet.
I feel like
You have to
I know that
fact
London is a
check
good
that.
city, and I know you really like it, but I think you like it because you lived there in the years of your life where you had the most fun too.
It's where I had the most sex in my life.
Oh,
But you're in like your early 20s living in London.
that's a good
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you moved to London when you were 60, you wouldn't say London's the best city.
No, London was just, that was a lot of sex in London. Willy woo London, in my 20s.
Okay, we're not landing too long,
And
so we're
then
gonna wrap
Sydney's
this
a good city.
up. Trying to wrap it up.
LA's your number one in America. It's your number one city.
LA's number one in America?
Yeah,
I think San Francisco's better than LA.
No, I love LA.
Oh, wait. No, you can't sing songs. What are you saying?
I say LA's number one.
No, I don't
Is it
say
really
that.
a city? Is it
In America.
activity?
In America, LA's fucking great.
Have you been to Des Moines? All right, so we're wrapping this up. We will have another podcast for you coming next week after this one, and we'll be back.
What's your number one city, Forrest?
I like San Francisco. Can't afford it though. I would move there
I like
if it worked out career wise and stuff, you know. And so, but it's you know, I'm in LA. I don't mind LA because I really like Miami. Miami gets a lot of shit. Florida gets shit. People go there and party, but LA reminds me of Miami, but with better weather. You know, it's more temperate and then cooler.
I like Miami,
I know you like Miami.
but I never sell tickets there.
What do you mean? The Fort Lauderdale's Miami. You sold 4,500 tickets last time.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I do.
Selling 4,500 tickets in South Florida is like selling 10,000 anywhere else.
When am I doing that again?
You did it. You did it last April. So. Yeah,
So probably a year from now.
something like that. So here's anyways, listen, if you listen to the podcast, you please rate us, write a comment or something. We're back on now. And if you haven't already, follow the show on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. All of it is at the Jefferies Show or at Jefferies Show. I don't even know the goddamn handle of the thing that Did I just get that wrong as I'm trying to promote it? I think I can look that up here. Are you coming back on, Shandy?
I just Chicago.
You're trying to say a city you like?
Oh, yeah. Now I'm thinking about it. I really dig Chicago's vibe.
Yeah, but Chicago's winter's so bad. It's like it's so bad.
I was trying to end
And
the
it's
show.
so
Why are we talking
long,
about city stuff?
and it's like dating a woman who's like stunning, but she's on a period 50% of the time.
I never hung out in Chicago while it was on is period, so I guess.
It's hell in
Is
winter.
it?
Oh, it's spring, lovely. Autumn, lovely. It's summer's a bit hot, but it's
Winter's bad.
Why did you ask the listeners to rape your show? I didn't understand that.
Rate the show.
Oh. Okay. A
rate
little
the
confused.
show.
Okay, so
rate
here-
the show.
so as I said,
this is it.
at-
We'll rate the
on
show
Twitter at Jeffrey Show, on Instagram at Jeffrey Show, on Facebook Jim Jeffrey Show. Look us up, follow us, like stuff, watch videos. We're still putting out a lot of content right now in between the seasons. Clips that you liked, clips that have been reformatted, little jokes, things here. Videos are being made. All right. So, anything else you want to say, Jim, before we go?
Good night, America.
Good night. Okay. Jandy? Barang? And a few words. All right. I'm Forrest Shaw. Jim, this is usually where you say something in the background. In the background. Okay.
Yeah, I got a place like a race.
All right.